Hello, and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Mitchell,
And I'm Coty.
and we have a very special episode today.
Yes.
We got a preview copy of Leviathan.
The Precious.
The Precious. My Precious.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through it sprue by sprue, and we're going to talk about everything, because I know there's been a lot of coverage already about like battle reports and all that stuff, but we got to have some fun too.
Yeah. We're Miniatures Rundown. And this is a bunch of miniatures.
Oh yeah, I got to stop hitting the table. It goes up to the mic.
We're getting new mic stands for that, by the way.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's not waste any more time. Let's just open it up.
Absolutely.
First, we got the big sprue protector. Has the Tyranid and Terminator.
Same on both sides.
Same on both sides. And immediately just thrown into a sea of plastic. Okay. Let's try and sort this. So this is a Dreadnought.
Mm-hmm.
This is the... Not the Neurogaunt. The
Psyker Eater.
Yeah.
Pyschophage.
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 This is the... Ah, okay. So the Screamer Killer and the Neurophage is on the same sprue.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We'll see what happens there. That actually is interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Looks like, except for the Dreadnought, it's almost all Tyranids on top. Oh, that's the Librarian with axe. Let's talk about him since he's the first full sprue I pulled off. So we have the Librarian in Terminator armor with axe. He is pretty sweet from what I've been seeing. I've been seeing in some battle reports he doesn't do as much damage as I was hoping he would do. Like all of the other Terminators, he has a 2-up with a 4-up invuln save, so he's pretty tanky.
Yep.
He has just the classic smite as a ranged attack that can either be strength 5 AP 1 with no extra abilities, or strength 6 AP 2 with devastating wounds but hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
So get some up and down there. And hazardous has changed since 9th edition. It is now whenever you shoot a hazardous weapon, you roll a die on a 1, you either kill yourself unless you're a vehicle or character, and then you take D3 mortal wounds.
Yep.
So
hurts.
It does hurt, especially when he only has 5. So that could take over half your health away. I mean, in order to take 3 wounds, that's what, 16% chance to roll a 1, and then a 33% chance to roll a 5 or a 6. That's pretty low, but it's a risk. Yeah. And then
he gives a unit he's attached to a 4-up invuln, which 4-up feel no pain. Sorry,
against psychic attack specifically.
Against psychic attack specifically, and then he gives them sustained hits.
That is very nice. All weapons equipped, so you can put this on the Sternguards and give them. Well, no, not the Sternguards, because he can only be put on Terminators.
Yeah, he can be put on Relic Terminator Squad, Terminator Assault Squad, and just a regular Terminator Squad.
So you can put him in a ranged or melee unit, either one, and still be useful. That is nice.
Yeah, he can be used for melee too. He can get up close. He's got that nice force weapon.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the old Psychers had, which is the like D3 damage one, but
yeah,
still pretty good.
Yeah.
And next, so this seems to be 2 of the same sprue, which is the Infernus squad. They are pretty dang terrifying, especially I like them on Overwatch because, still auto hit on Overwatch.
Right.
They have D6 shots at strength 5, no AP 1 damage, and Purge the Fire, which is in the shooting phase after they shot. You can select an infantry unit hit, and they must take a battle shock test. So forcing battle shock test. I know some people are a little low because if we are playing and I make you take a battle shock test in my turn, it's going to clear off in your command phase.
Right.
So the only thing it really matters for is me taking objectives from you and not using strats.
Yeah, so that basically is pretty much for Overwatch.
No, it says in your shooting phase, so you actually can't do it in Overwatch. This is the same with the Barbgaunts for the Tyranids is a similar wording, which is fine. Because it would have been ridiculously strong otherwise. But I can see this being really good depending on what you take. Like, so you're not gonna want the like sustained hits or lethal hits or whatever because you're not gonna hit roll. Mm-hmm. But if you can give these, and we haven't seen all the rules yet, if you can give these guys like devastating wounds, like,
oh yeah,
10d6 shots, strength 5 devastating wounds will do some damage. We definitely got to check out to see if we can do some stupid combinations because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll know soon.
Yeah. So I don't know if we can say when we're filming this, but the rumor is that the Space Marines go up tomorrow and the Tyranids go up Friday. Or no, Tyranids go up tomorrow, Space Marines go up Friday. Yeah. So we'll know everything in their books then. So the updated Terminator squad, the first thing that they showed us in the whole box at Adepticon, we were both there for it. You remember those times?
I do.
I remember those.
They were good times.
They were good times. They have changed all of their power weapons to just be power weapons. So axe, mace, sword, doesn't matter. Except for the power fist, which is better strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we already kind of saw that on the Librarian Terminator. Not specifically the Terminator. I'm not supposed to do that. Not specifically on the Terminator, but like the power force or
the force
weapons are all condensed. We're seeing that a lot on the Terminators with just the power weapons.
Yep, that's true. Which I'm okay with. They kind of did that when they came out with the Chaos Space Marine Codex in 9th edition, where it was just like you had a bunch of different weapon choices, especially on I think they were chosen. And then they just made it like accursed weapons, and they just all had the same profile.
Yeah.
Again, other than the power fist, which is because, making a power fist hit the same as power sword is kind of weird.
Yeah. Which I'm a super fan of that. Like, I enjoy magnetizing for the most part, but like that's just extra hours into getting my army ready. So like,
I don't need that extra work.
Yeah, it helps in general.
Mm-hmm. We've already seen basically this whole data sheet before, except for like some of the weapons. They have the teleport homer, which is the basically you can use rapid ingress for free, and rapid ingress is the one where you can deep strike in on your opponent's turn. Yeah, which is terrifying. And from what I've been seeing in battle reports, these guys are tough as nails.
Yes.
I watched one that a Terminator went down on turn 1, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is great," and then no more died the rest of the game.
Yeah, I watched.
Just lost one.
I did watch that.
And then they have Fury of the First. Which is they ignore any modifiers to ballistic skill and weapon skill and or the hit roll. So you can't make them hit any worse than they do on their datasheet. And every time they make an attack that targets an enemy that was chosen for Oath of Moment, which is the Space Marine faction ability, you add +1 to the hit roll. So not only are you ignoring minus to the hit roll, you're also adding +1 to the hit roll, which means across the board you're hitting on 2s, except for the Chain Fist, which hits on 3s. That's so good. Oh, and it's Oath of Moment, so you're also rerolling all hit and wound rolls. Yeah. So that thing is dead.
Yeah.
That is ridiculously strong.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the new Terminators.
Yeah, they are going to be a absolute unit to mess with. And I'm here for it. I wanted more Terminators, and by God, I'm getting them.
Yeah. I'd be happier if they were assault Terminators, but
Yeah, I mean, again, we kind of already talked about this. They have power fists, except for why this has bothered me for forever. Why does the leader have a power weapon, power sword, and everybody else has a power fist? And you can't change out the power sword. He just has a worse weapon for no reason.
That's a really good question.
I hate it. Whereas, like, I play Space Wolves and you play Blood Angels. Space Wolves, you can mix and match all the weapons you want, so your leader can take whatever they want. But in the regular Space Marine squad, they can only take a power sword. It's really stupid.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, Sternguard, super crazy. They have the combi weapon, which has anti-infantry, devastating wounds, rapid fire 1. It's pretty great.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Again, a combi weapon being the consolidation of the combi flamer and bolter,
Melta,
and all that stuff.
Then, or just the regular bolt rifle has more attacks, but hits more. Hits on a 3 instead of a 4, and has AP.
Still has devastating wounds. Jeez.
Yeah, still has devastating wounds. It's interesting because that one also has heavy in it, but it's just the regular bolt rifle. Whereas,
it does. You're right.
I mean, the heavy bolter does too, but heavy bolter is the next one. 3 attacks instead of 2, but only hitting on 4s at that point. Strength 5, AP -1, and 2 damage for that one. So it hits pretty well. Basic combat, but their bolter drill ability is what's kind of crazy because if you, once per battle in your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, if 1 or more enemy units were destroyed as a result of those attacks, this unit can shoot again.
Yep.
That's nuts.
So you throw out, so these guys come base with the bolt rifle, and any number of models can switch to the combi weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just upgrade every single one of them, and then one guy can get the heavy bolter.
Yeah.
Which I think in the box, that's how you have to do it, is you have to have a heavy bolter with the push fits. But yeah, they're going to absolutely wreck. It actually, the bolt rifle having heavy is just a benefit here because it doesn't have -1 to ballistic skill. Which means if they stand still, they hit on 2s.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
That's gross. I didn't notice it had heavy.
I'm still thinking in 9th edition.
Right, where it's like, oh, well, if they move, bad things.
Yeah.
But so the combi weapon hits on 4s, but the bolt rifle gets an AP and hits on 2s if you stand still. That's gross.
That is nuts. And then it can shoot again if it kills something, which it will.
Yeah, which it will. Like you point this at a squad with, I mean, it has rapid fire 1, so it's firing 3 shots at half range, and still has devastating wounds, and it's assault. Why is it assault? You can run and shoot with no penalty. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry, advance and shoot.
It's an all around like multi-tool of a weapon.
Yeah, it does all the stuff.
Yeah,
that's crazy good.
And they look awesome, and that's why I like them.
They look absolutely
but they
fantastic.
do seem kind of scary as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next is the Dreadnought.
The Ballistus Dreadnought.
Yes. This one is like a newer version of the box Dreadnought that everybody just sadly lost. It's got the big old las cannon on it and the missile pods.
We have seen this whole data sheet before today, which is fine. We'll talk about it anyway. The missile launcher is 2 shots at strength 10 AP 2 D6 damage, or 2 D6 shots at strength 5 AP nothing 1 damage. And you have to pick. And then the las cannon is 2 shots. Oh, and the frag has blast, so you get an extra shot against stuff with more dudes. And the las cannon is 2 attacks, 3s to hit, strength 12, AP 3 D6 plus 1 damage. It's really weird that las cannons went to D6 plus 1. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't used a lot of las weapons in my days.
Yeah, las are generally just D6 damage, so they were like super random whether you could do it or not. But like the fix to that was just adding a 1 to the end. I don't really.
No, there was. I mean, guards las guns I heard were decent, but like I think it was Space Marines las guns were just like
las cannons
were kind of just meh.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, hopefully we will see them more because they are higher strength than even like Meltas are only strength 8 or 9, one of the two.
Yeah.
So they're higher strength, so they're actually more for killing vehicles.
Yeah.
Good things. And then the coolest part about this is the Ballistus Strike. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that is not below half strength, you can reroll the hit roll. So generally, you're only getting a couple shots for each weapon. So if you fire all the big weapons, you're only going to get 4 shots. And that can be pretty swingy depending on if you have Oath of Moment on them or whatever. So you can guarantee that you're going to hit. But now you don't need Oath of Moment because you're going to be rerolling the hit roll as long as they're not at half wounds or half models or whatever.
Yeah.
He is pretty cool. I do hope that they come out with more options for him later. Because in the 8th edition release, the Redemptor came out, and it only had the heavy bolter, not the heavy bolter, the
Onslaught.
Yeah, Onslaught Gatling cannon. And then they came out with the kit later that had that and the plasma cannon.
Yeah.
So it'd be really cool if this had some more options to it. But we'll see what happens when the book comes out. We're going to go back to this sprue because this has 2 of the characters on it. It has the Lieutenant in Phobos armor with the many knives. So he has a combi weapon just like the Sternguard. Makes sense how he's on the same sprue. And then he has paired combat blades, which is 5 attacks, 2 to hit, strength 4, no AP 1 damage. But, it's anti-Tyranids.
Oh, it's just specifically...
I thought it was anti-infantry. It's anti-Tyranids.
You're right.
That's hilarious. Anti-Tyranids, sustained hits 1. So he gets a lot of attacks, and he wounds on 4s at least against Tyranids. That's so funny to me. And he is the first lone operative.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot join a squad, and he can't be given any enhancements.
Yep.
But he can't be shot from more than 12 away for any reason, unless something ignores lone operative, which we all know something will.
Yeah, there's going to be a sniper rule or something at some point.
The snipers that they have shown don't ignore it. They just have precision.
Right.
So we'll see if they actually do the ignore your invulns thing. He has a Feel No Pain 5+, and Infiltrate, and Stealth, which means he has -1 to be hit at range. And Infiltrate means that he can deploy further up the board. So, Phobos. He can pick an objective, and while a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, until the end of the battle, each time that model makes an attack that targets an enemy that is within range of the priority target, the objective he picked, re-roll wound roll of a 1. Cool.
Yeah.
It's at the start of the first battle round, so you pick at the beginning of the game, and it stays like that the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be something in the middle, and you just get to re-roll your wound rolls against it, as long as they're near him.
Right.
And then Evade and Survive is once per turn, unit ends a normal advance, blah, 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 within 9 inches. If this is not in engagement range and 1 or more enemy units, they can make a normal move. So it's kind of like the new Tyranid rule.
Yeah.
Not the Endless Swarm, but the skittering.
Yeah.
So if you end near him, he can move, which is cool, as long as he's not engaged.
Yeah.
But he can't join a squad. He doesn't have any weapon options. Can't be your warlord. Oh, sorry. It doesn't say that he can't have an enhancement. It says he can't be your warlord, which is whatever. Because he's a lieutenant. I'm assuming all lieutenants are going to have that.
Probably.
I've seen things back and forth on him because he doesn't have any AP, but he does have really good weapons. So I don't know. I'll have to play him. See how it works out.
Yeah.
Plus, his model looks absolutely sick.
Yeah.
With the dripping blade.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Everybody's saying heresy because he's got Tyranid carapace on his shoulder, but I think it's awesome.
He's fine. And then the Apothecary, if you want to talk about that.
The next one is the Apothecary Biologis. He's got an Absolver bolt pistol, 18-inch range, 1 attack, 3 ballistic skill, strength 5, -1 AP, and 2 damage. And then he's just got the general close combat weapon.
He just kicks you.
He is the leader. Surgical precision. When this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the lethal hits ability.
That's very good.
Pretty decent. And then Vivispectrum. If this model's unit destroys an enemy unit as a result of a melee attack, until the end of battle, this model has an objective control characteristic of 9.
He starts at 3 and he goes to 9 if he kills something.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting ability.
It is.
So if it's the model's unit kills something, as a result of a melee attack, that's actually especially interesting considering what he can join.
Which is especially interesting with this box. Because he cannot join anybody in this box.
He is Gravis, and he can only join Gravis units.
Yeah,
there's no Gravis in this box other than him.
He doesn't have Lone Operator.
Nope.
There's no other Gravis in the box. He's a cool model.
He's a fantastic model.
Yeah.
It's going to make me buy a unit of Aggressors.
Yes.
Because the other 2 things he can go with are Eradicators and Heavy Intercessors, neither of which want to be in melee.
Right.
And he gives a bonus to melee.
Mm-hmm.
That's really weird. Well, he doesn't give a bonus to melee. He gives It's all weapons gain lethal hits, but you get a benefit if they kill something in melee.
Right.
So he's really weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use him if I can. I'm Space Wolves. I haven't used an Apothecary before. But it makes me want to buy an Aggressor squad because aggressors have pseudo power fists and some big old guns. So I'm probably gonna do that.
Hopefully we'll see some melee Gravis armor units at some point.
Yeah.
Like, Blade Guard should have been.
Yeah. Also, I noticed that so regular Space Marines in this box have a toughness of 4.
Mm-hmm.
He has a toughness of 6.
Yeah.
Previously, Gravis armor was +1 toughness.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So apparently +2.
Hmm.
Unless he's special. Maybe he's special. Anyway. We have one more non-bug to talk about.
One more non-bug.
And we leave him for last because he's on the same sprue as a bug. It is the Terminator Captain. Captain in Terminator armor. He has Deep Strike and Leader. Both of those make sense.
Mm-hmm.
He has basically all of the same weapons as the Terminator squad, except he also has, on his data sheet, not necessarily on the model, he has a Lightning Claws, which are twin-linked, a Thunder Hammer, which has devastating wounds, and then a Relic Weapon, which is basically like an upgraded Power Sword, which is what the model comes with. And then Chain Fist and Power Fist, which we've seen those already. And then he also has a combi weapon, like the Lieutenant and the Sternguard. He can join basically any Terminator unit, same as the Librarian, Relic, Terminator Assault, and regular Terminator squad. He can have an auxiliary grenade launcher, which gives him the grenade keyword, which is just for, tossing down some mortal wounds now.
Yep.
He has the Imperium Sword. You can reroll charge rolls made for this model's unit. Very strong for melee. And Rites of Battle, which we actually just saw again, that looks to be the captain ability.
Mm-hmm.
Which is once per battle round, one unit from your army can be targeted by a stratagem for 0 CP, even if another unit from your army has already been targeted by that stratagem this phase. So that is very strong.
Yes.
Being able to, once per turn, Overwatch twice.
Yeah.
Or do one of your special ones, like put 2 different things in a specific doctrine, because I know you can do that with the rules. He is very flexible, and I think in Space Marines, you're probably going to want a captain in every list. He's just so strong.
Yeah.
And then they changed Relic Shields because Relic Shield used to be the +1 to your save and give. It actually depended on the model, because the Lieutenant with the Relic Shield did something different, but whatever.
Yeah.
Now it just increases his wounds by 1, which is fine.
Yeah.
+1 wound is better than nothing, and that one comes with Relic Shield. Oh, you can mix and match now, which is nice, because you used to not be able to.
Yeah.
I guess that was on the Primaris one, so Primaris was very locked to what they could do. But that is the last Space Marine.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep that sprue up because it also has one of the Tyranids on.
Yeah, note that the sprue, like, even though he has the other options, since this is the push fit model, he doesn't come with all of his other cool weapons.
Yeah, he just has, what is it, the
sword.
And the sword and the combi bolter?
The Storm Bolter. Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait for them to release 15 new Terminator Captain variants, or just one that has options.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it was only a couple months ago.
The last Lieutenant had some options, but it was like 2 pistols, 2 weapons, face your head 2 different ways. That's about it.
Yeah, it was. The Augustus model was a Lieutenant, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
it was Lieutenant.
Yeah.
All right, on to the Tyranid Prime Winged Edition. He's not as strong as I expected. From the way he looks, he's also smaller than I expected, because again, he's on this sprue.
Yeah, he's definitely smaller than I thought.
Yep. He's move 12, toughness 5, only a 4-up save, no invuln. That's rough. He has deep strike and 6 wounds. But he is a leader, which means he can join gargoyles or warriors, also neither of which are in this box.
Yep.
But that's, you know what? That's fine. He can deep strike, kill some stuff, and then die with his 4-up save with no emblem.
Yeah.
He has 6 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. While he's leading a unit, models equipped have the sustained hits 1 ability, which I had a question and it has not been answered yet. Do multiple instances of sustained hits stack? Because one of the Tyranid detachment rules is you can pick sustained hits against infantry. So if he gives sustained hits and you get that and they stack, sustained hits 2 on some warriors will be.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't know on that specific rule, but there is mention in other rules that it can never be increased by more than 1, implying that a lot of stuff doesn't stack anymore.
Right.
But
I couldn't find where it stacks. Let us know in the comments if it does or doesn't stack either way. So I can, play it right. But that seems like, regardless, that seems very strong.
Yeah.
Sustained hits 1 is insane. And then Death Blow, which is basically if he dies and he hasn't fought yet, you roll a dice, and on 4-up, he gets to fight immediately. Mm-hmm. Which is cool because, again, he's kind of squishy. You send him into something, and then if something charges him, he will get hit and then kill it. Hopefully kill it back. Mm-hmm. Make up his points. And we don't know how many points he costs. But yeah, for as cool as the model is, I wish he was a little bit stronger, but we will see. I have a feeling this is going to be... No, because he's on his own sprue, so he is not going to get another kit. It's going to be the Screamer Killer that gets the new kit. If they do.
He might still get his own kit, because, the Terminator Captain's going to get his own kit, because they're going to need to make one with a Lightning Claw.
That's true.
They're going to stop making the push fit one at some point, and they would... It's on the same mold press, so they wouldn't keep using it just for the Tyranid.
That's true.
So he's probably going to get his own sprue.
Or they're not going to do another Terminator Captain and disappoint both of us.
But he has other weapons on his stat sheet.
No, you're right. You're right. The Neurogaunts, which is just above the Winged Hive Tyrant. The Neurogaunts. I don't like these guys. They're weird.
They're a little weird.
They have to be dirt cheap for these to be considered. Their whole reason to exist is to extend your synapse. So if they're in synapse range, it also has synapse, so it extends your synapse range. And synapse in Tyranids is if you have to take a battle shock test, you roll 3 dice instead of 2. Mm-hmm. You don't drop the lowest, you just roll 3 dice, which is really, really, really good, considering how bad some of the leaderships for Tyranids are. So if they're in synapse range, they extend the synapse range from themselves, which is cool.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything else. They have toughness 3, a 6-up save, 1 wound, 1 attack, weapon skill 4, strength 3, no AP, 1 damage. That is the worst. That's worse than Guardsmen.
Well, yeah.
So I don't like them. They have to be...
These are just guardsmen that don't actually have a gun, and they have the little radio pack to extend orders and whatnot. This is the Tyranid version of that, and there's 20 of them that you can just... I imagine somebody's just going to line them up across the board, like Necron style, whatever. It'll block you from getting into engagement range on people, and then also... Yeah,
you just synapse the whole front of your arm.
You have this giant antenna that goes across the battlefield, 2-inch unit cohesion. If it's dirt cheap. If not, these models will never see the light of day. But
I think if they were 6 points, that would be too expensive.
Really?
I think so.
That's 120 points
for 20 models.
I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be some funny antics with it, and I love them for that reason.
Well, yeah.
And you can also they have a objective control 1. You can just sit them on
everything has
it's
objective
better
control
than 0.
I don't like them. The only thing in the Tyranid half I don't like. They also come with, for some reason on the unit composition it says 1 to 2 Neurogaunt node beasts. And there is no more mention on the whole thing about a node beast. It doesn't do anything special. It doesn't have an extra rule in the abilities section. It doesn't do anything. It's just there. Is it something we haven't seen yet? Maybe.
Probably.
But because
maybe the non-push fit sprue is gonna
maybe
have some more options.
We'll see.
But I feel like they would put them on the card.
Yeah.
Because they put the Terminator captain stuff on the card.
Yeah.
That we don't have yet.
I don't know. I do not
maybe
like
that's
this
because
unit.
there's already Terminator captains that have that kind of stuff.
Maybe.
This
is the only unit I don't like. They look cool.
They look
that I will give you. They look cool.
Yeah.
But I don't like them. Onto a unit that I do like.
Can't wait until they're like on every meta tier
Tyranid
list ever.
They're 3 points. You can take. Okay, now I have to check. Are they battle line?
No.
Okay, good. So you can't take more than 3 units. So at max you can take 60. I don't know why you would ever take 60. Anyway, onto a unit I do like is the Barbgaunts. They have 2 wounds apiece, toughness 4, and a 4-up save, which is already better in every way than the other ones. They're a unit of 5 for a minimum unit, which is all that comes in the box. Mm-hmm. They have the bio cannon, which is blast and heavy, and 24-inch range. D6 shots, ballistic skill 4, so 3 if you stand still. Strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage. But the cool part is if they hit in your shooting phase, if they hit enemy infantry, they get -2 to their move, advance, and charge rolls for a turn. Target Terminator squad doesn't do jack. Target Death Guard Terminator squad, they're just out. They're just gone.
They just can't move.
Yeah. Well, they're movement 2.
Yeah.
And they get -2 to their advance rolls, so the best they can possibly move is 6. If you shoot them.
Yeah, these guys are cool. They're little mini artillery.
Yeah, they're cute little artilleries.
Yeah.
Josh and I talked about it when they first showed them. They got like the parasite on their back that they squeeze the membrane or whatever, and it makes it shoot. God, I just love the fluff of that.
Right.
I've talked about before, I don't really like the flesh guns where it's like straight up a gun that they're holding, but it's made of biomass. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Where it's they attach something to them and it changes them from one thing to a whole different unit. I like them.
All right, next up is the weirdest name in 40k so far, the Von Ryan's Leapers. They are... like most Tyranids, super melee focused. Mm-hmm. They have Leaper's Talons, 6 attacks, weapon skill of 3 up, strength 5, -1 AP, and 1 damage. They don't have any guns, so you're going to want to get in close with them. And that's not going to be too hard to do because they do have stealth. They fight first, and they're infiltrators.
And infiltrate.
Yeah. They... have the faction rule Synapse. Pouncing Leap, you can target this unit with the Heroic Intervention stratagem for 0 CP, and can do so even if you have already used that stratagem on a different unit this phase.
So you can Heroic Intervene with 2 things, as long as one of them is this, and it costs nothing, which is insane because Heroic Intervention costs 2.
Yeah.
So being able to do it for free, and they fight first?
Pretty great value.
These guys are strong.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm disappointed with is they're only 1 damage. But they do have 18 attacks total.
Yeah. If unless you go with a full squad of 6, which they can go up to.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's a lot of attacks. Weight of dice. But you could save something valuable in the process. So yeah, they're pretty cool.
That seems really good. I like them. I like them a lot. Plus, they look cool.
Yep. And they got a 4-up save, 3 wounds, leadership of 8,
and a 6-up invuln.
And a 6-up invuln.
That's actually kind of useful.
Yeah,
I like that. Next up is the Pyschophage. He's the eater of the librarians. Ranged weapon is fine. It is ignores cover torrent, range 12. D6 shots, strength 6, AP 1 damage. He's toughness 9. I actually did not notice that. He's toughness 9. That's pretty big. But his melee attack D6 +1 attacks with devastating wounds and anti-psyker 2.
Yeah.
And it has been brought up and asked. There's actually a section in the rulebook that if you put a psyker in a squad, the whole squad now has psyker because they share keywords.
Oh yeah.
So if there is a librarian in the Terminator squad, he is doing 2 mortal wounds on a roll of a 2 up to that whole squad.
Yikes.
Whew.
As somebody who's currently building a Grey Knights army, I'm in danger.
Yeah, these guys are gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
He has Feel No Pain 5 up on himself, and he has a aura of a 6 up Feel No Pain to all Tyranids around him, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, extra rolls to survive is awesome. And then he has Feeding Frenzy. Whenever this model makes a melee attack that targets a unit that is below half strength, add 1 to the hit. That is below its starting strength, add 1 to the hit. If they're below half strength, you add 1 to the wound as well. So he, unlike the Dreadnought, who wants to go after something that's not injured, he wants to go after something that's injured and finish it off.
Yeah.
I like it. He can't be joined by anything. He doesn't have lone operative, so he's just a big old monster that's going to take some bullets. But
yeah,
he's got toughness 9, 10 wounds, 3 up save, and a Feel No Pain. He'll take some damage. Anti-Psyker 2+. Yeah, I'm, as a Thousand Suns player, I am also worried.
Yeah. You're in the same boat.
In the same boat. Maybe I'm going to put them on hold until the Tyranid hype dies down.
No.
Termagants. One of the other cool things they showed off at Adepticon. They are your basic troop. Move 6, toughness 3, 5 up save, which is already more than I thought that they would get. 1 wound, OC 2 because they're troops. They have 3 different ranged weapons, but this push fit one only has 1, unfortunately.
Yep.
There is the Flesh Borer, which is assault, strength 5, but only 1 attack. All of these are AP 0/1 damage. The Spine Fists, which are assault, pistol, and twin linked, but only 2 attacks at strength 3. Or the Devourer, which I believe is the one that comes in here. Or is it the Flesh Borer that comes in here? I actually don't know. That is 2 attacks, strength 4, no other abilities. So, bolter, basically. Yeah. And then their teeth are nothing to write home about. Weapon skill 4, strength 3, again, the guardsman.
Yep.
And they have Skulking Horrors, which we mentioned this earlier with the Lieutenant. If you move within 9 inches of them and they're not in engagement range, they get to move D6. You can move closer. You can move further away to protect them from a charge. Pretty good.
Yeah.
You can take up to 20 in a unit. They come with the Flesh Borers, so that would be my guess on what's in the box is the Flesh Borers.
I see. Yeah.
Strength 5 is decent, even though it's only 1 shot.
Yeah.
Strength 5 is good.
We've seen these guys before, just older models.
Yep. The coolest part about them is a strat that you can use, which is Endless Swarm. You can use on an Endless Swarm, an Endless Multitudes unit, and you get to revive D3 plus 3 guys to 2 different units. And they are, considering leadership doesn't make you lose models anymore, they are surprisingly resilient.
Yeah.
Which is awesome, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a little more fluffy to what they're supposed to be.
That's true. I particularly like the swarm aspect, so I'm going to be getting these guys and Termagants. Nope, Hormagaunts. And spamming the crap out of them because that's what I like. And the last sprue in the box. Oh, there was also Ripper Swarms on that one, on the previous sprue.
Oh, yeah.
Which their weapons are absolutely nothing to write home about. They have Deep Strike, which is cool. But the coolest ability they have is if you're in engagement range with a unit, your objective control characteristic is halved. I think you round up, don't you?
It's usually halved and then round up, yeah.
So if you come across a battle line unit, it's going to go down to 1. Oh, these guys are OC 0, though. I didn't realize that. So they're basically to help you keep an objective. They're not good at much else.
Like, you can't take it if I can't take it.
Yeah. Nobody gets it is mine. I mean, it's nobody's. And then this on the last sprue, we have some of the big boys. We have the Screamer Killer, who is the big scary monster in the box that will kill everything it touches.
Yes.
It has the Scream, which has D6 plus 3 attacks, BS 4, Strength 8, AP 2, 1 damage with Assault and Blast. And then if you hit an enemy using it, they have to take a battle shock test, reducing their roll by 1. No, yeah, subtracting 1 from that test. So it's very similar to the Infernus Marines, but you have to make -1 to the test, so you have a higher chance to fail it.
Right.
And what we all came here for is melee attacks.
Yeah.
10 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 10, AP 2, 3 damage. He will destroy some Terminators.
Oh, yeah. And I think he did in a battle report, if I remember correctly.
He does, especially since, again, you can take the detachment ability to give him sustained hits. So he has 10 attacks, 6s are 2 hits. Oh, the vapors. But
he's pretty scary.
He has no other options. He can't take anything else. This is what he comes with. And him being on this sprue with other stuff makes me think this is either going to be the Indomitus thing, where he's never going to be available by himself, or he's going to get a new kit, aka a new what are they called? The Screamer Killers are the Termagants? No. I don't remember what they're called. Oh, God. Carnifex. Carnifex kit.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a new Carnifex kit with the Screamer Killer on it.
Yeah, maybe.
Those are, I'm hoping for that one. I mean, the Carnifex still looks pretty good, in my opinion. But I like the Screamer Killer getting his own model. And then we have the Neurotyrant and his little friends. Yeah. Who is a weird one. He kind of wants to be the leader because he doesn't do much by himself. He has an 18-inch gun with 2d6 shots, ignores cover, psychic, torrent, so auto hits is nice.
Yeah.
Strength 5, AP 1, 2 damage. That's pretty strong. But his melee is 6 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 5, AP 0, 1 damage.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. A 4-up invuln, 4-up armor save, so always the invuln. If one or more Neurotyrants from your army are on the battlefield when you unleash the Shadow of the Warp, subtract 1 from the battle shock test. Shadow of the Warp being the other Tyranid special faction ability.
Yeah.
You get to, in either player's command phase, force a battle shock test on your opponent's whole army. So taking him means they get a -1 to the roll. Again, they're going to fail more. Node Lash. Okay, this one is weird. So I already trashed on the Neurogaunts a little bit. He can join a Neurogaunt unit. He's the leader, and he can join a Neurogaunt unit.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
His ability that he gives to the unit he's in is add 1 to the hit roll, and if the target they attack is battle shocked, add 1 to the wound roll. On a unit that has 1 attack, strength hits on 4 is strength 3, no AP 1 damage. Why? Now he can join.
That one's obviously for the Tyrant Guard.
He can join the Tyrant Guard, and they will be much better.
Yeah.
I guarantee they will be better than the freaking Neurogaunts. And then he can basically, in your command phase, he has two little buddies who are adorable. He can pass those out as tokens, and those 2 units are automatically in synapse range, regardless of where they are. They're always considered to be in synapse range. And it's until your next command phase. So you can pass it to a unit that's going to go score an objective, or a unit that's going to go like murder some stuff. So he is very helpful for that reason.
Yeah, see, the Neurogaunts are just a giant antenna for him. You just keep him in the back where he's nice and safe, and then just make a line of Neurogaunts.
I mean, it's doable, I guess.
And then everything's within 12 inches of his thing. He gives them, their synaptic range, and then they run off and do their own thing. See? They're going to be meta.
Boo.
They're going to be good.
I hope they're good. I hope they're not meta. And that's it for the models.
Yeah.
All the models in the box. My throat hurts. We have another Sprue Protector. Oh my god. Boy, is thick. Oh boy, is thick.
Oh, that is a big book.
That's a big book. I hit the mic. My bad. We have the beautiful full color how to build sheet, which we will definitely be needing to use. What was it? Yep. 28s. Yep. Termagants are on 28s now.
All right.
And that upsets me. Well, it doesn't upset me. It's going to upset other people more because, they're on 25s and you needed like 100 of them.
Are they Termagants or are they Hormagants?
The ones that are in here. Shush.
Termagants.
And then we have the fantastic smooth Leviathan book.
Yeah, and it is huge because it is multiple books in one, basically.
Yep.
On the Sunday preview, we didn't know if I guess I didn't read it, but we didn't know if the campaign rules and stuff like that were going to be in a separate book. Like, they're going to be separately released, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But as for this box, it is one book, and they are in there.
Okay.
There's going to be this box isn't like the core, like it is the core rule book, but it's not like just how the core rule book's going to be, like kind of like the Indominus book was.
Yeah.
This one has a whole bunch of extra goodies in it on top of the core rules.
Right. It's very pretty, very big. I'm scared to. We're not going to open it up. I keep twisting the wrong way.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to open it up. All the core rules are online already. A good chunk of this is fluff, which, I'm not a fluff bunny, but some people are.
I like the fluff.
I know you do.
And then there's, artwork, stuff like that, how to paint guides.
Yeah, which is great.
Yep, crusade rules, regular rules, whole bunch of goodies. And then we have the cards.
Yeah. And these are what is basically the new chapter approved.
Mm-hmm.
They are the mission cards. I believe they're just mission cards. I don't think there's any other deployment, defender. Yeah. So these are the mission cards. They show you your deployment setup, your scenario, your secondaries are in here, and then your gambits, which is the oh God, I'm losing this game. Let's throw a Hail Mary. And I am definitely looking forward to playing this way because I think it is an interesting way to do tournament games.
Yeah, for sure.
And you have a few options with if you want to be fixed, if you want a secondary that's fixed, you can take assassinate. So if your opponent has a bunch of characters, you can take that. Or you can do the randomized ones and you get more points, but being that they are randomized, you might not be able to do stuff.
Right.
I really like this aspect and I'm looking forward to it. I've heard some people dogging on it, but I definitely want to play.
I think it's an interesting change.
Yeah.
I think it's for the best.
And that is the last awesome thing in this box. We have an advertisement for the Battle of Ogrim.
Battle of Ogrim. It's a little narrative campaign that they're throwing out there. You can send in your details of your battle reports, and it's just to kind of, I think it's to see how everything's kind of balanced out, but at the same, it's for fun.
They do stuff like this occasionally. Generally, when there's an edition change, they're this is the Battle of blank, and tell us how your faction is doing to get people hyped and playing and that kind of thing. Games Workshop, we're already hyped and we're gonna play. Don't worry about it.
Most people are making I think it's cool and it's fun, but most people are making fun of it. They're like, my army's not gonna be ready by the time you have to submit results.
Sorry. Fools.
I still have unpainted Indominus models.
You fools. Just get done. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it for the box. I cannot wait to put this stuff together and try it out potentially here soon and potentially here on the channel.
Yeah. We would like to at very least get the combat patrols painted up, do a little battle report on the combat patrols. We're going to be doing we have a lot of plans for combat patrol coming into 10th. So
which side are you more interested in?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because the Space Marines don't really fit my Space Marines.
Right.
Because I'm Blood Angels. I want to be melee. This box is mostly shooty. But I think the sculpts that they're getting are awesome.
Oh,
whereas
definitely.
Don't know too much about Tyranids. I think they look awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I was always kind of on the side of a lot of the Tyranids kind of still held up. But
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I'm kind of like honestly right down the center. I'm excited to play both.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I am leaning more the Tyranid side.
Yeah.
Space Wolves is one of my lesser armies, and like you said, Space Wolves are very melee focused, so a lot of this box is ranged. I'm gonna like the Lieutenant's cool. I'll definitely take the Terminators because Power Fists.
Yeah.
And I got to see all the rules obviously for everything, but I am excited to play them. But the Tyranids are calling to me. I love this new stuff. I agree that a lot of especially their big monsters really hold up.
Mm-hmm.
The Tervagon, that thing is 15 years old at this point. It still looks great.
Yeah.
The Tyrannifex, all of the big stuff looks really cool. Some of the stuff that's still in Finecast or God forbid metal.
Yeah, that's always
definitely need updated. And obviously, if this is going to be similar to 9th edition, they're going to get new stuff like Necrons did.
Yeah. To be honest, the one model in plastic that I think needed it the most is the one model that did not get it.
Not yet.
The Gene Stealers.
The Gene Stealers were on the same boat.
Yeah.
They showed off the Gene Stealer card and it has the old model on it.
Mm-hmm. So that doesn't give me much faith that they will be getting a new one soon.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since it's been talked about many times. They already did new Gene Stealers in the Blackstone Fortress box, but they were in the box. There was like 3 of them in the box.
Yeah.
And they could easily just put that on a new sprue, duplicate it times
copy and paste,
9, and call it good.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't. That is the plastic one. Like even the Termagants, I thought they were fine. Like the mold lines were getting a little bad, and I just got some off of one of my coworkers, and the mold lines were a little bad, and like the sprue gate areas were a little like clunky, and you have to like fix it up a little bit. But other than that, I think they look fine. But God, those Gene Stealers look so, especially they're in 2 armies because they're in Gene Stealer cults too, and they look terrible. I don't want to buy any.
Right. They're gonna be the best model.
They're gonna be the thing that you spam, and I'm gonna cry while I'm moving them around the board, winning.
Yeah.
But now that we've answered the question, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Which side are you interested in? Do you not interested in either of these factions? Are you interested in both factions like us? Let us know in the comments below because interaction is good.
Yeah.
And until then, I've been Mitchell.
And I've been Coty.
Bye.
Bye.